All right, taking a look here at Cole. Again, when I analyze the swing, we look at three primary areas: the back leg, the back arm, and the front side. Okay, and again, that back leg has a very simple goal: get loaded right before the release of the pitch. Okay, and then unload as your first move to the ball. Okay, and your stride, okay, should involve both a load and an unload. Okay, and regardless of what you do with your feet, that back leg should go before the heel hits the ground. Okay, so there should be a load and an unload before the heel hits the ground. Remember, the stride's all about your back leg. Okay, so we take a look at Cole here. We see a load, but then he's going to set that toe down. Okay, so his stride is over with, and he really hasn't unloaded that back leg. And then really his heel comes down before that back leg goes. Okay, and as you see Cole come through, you see him still back here on the back side. Compare that to what Adrian's doing. Okay, and Adrian has a true driving aspect to his back leg. Usually we see evidence of that as the back leg is unweighted before and through contact with the ball. Okay, so the back leg, very simply, has got to load and unload. Okay, as part of the stride, it's got to unload before the heel drops. And Cole's caught back here. Let's take a look now at the front side, and we'll do the back arm last. Okay, with the front side, you want to feel like you drive off of that back side, but as soon as that front heel lands, okay, the head is going to stabilize, and we're going to hit behind that front side. Okay, a strong front side. And Cole has a pretty good front side. Okay, now he's not really driving into it, and his back leg isn't contributing as it should be. Okay, but he does create pretty good tilt there, and he has pretty good hands, and there's pretty good whip effect there against that wall on the front side. Okay, lastly, let's take a look at the back arm. Okay, again, like we talked about yesterday, the back arm, very simple. Back elbow should lift and slot. Okay, and that elbow should be very bent when it slots. Okay, very bent here. The bat should be very tall at this point, and right above the hands, and the hands should still be back. The biggest problem here with Cole, that elbow is very wide at this point. Okay, so he's loading kind of by extending at the back arm, and the bat begins to flatten. So the bat gets heavy, the arm gets wide, the swing gets long. Okay, so let's look again with Cole as we take a look at how the back arm gets ready and loads. See how he reaches back, he straightens out there, whereas Adrian's kind of winding that bone up. The elbow should not straighten. Okay, and so even though Cole is a strong kid, good hand-eye, and his hands are working good, that back arm path is not where it needs to be, and the back leg is unloading into the pitch. Okay. All right, taking a look here at Derek White. Okay. And again, we're going to focus back leg, back arm, and front side. We'll start with the back leg. Again, the back leg, very simple goal of loading and unloading before the heel lands. And again, we really want to try to take a natural stride where the stride involves both a load and an unload. Okay, and you can see how quickly Derek's toe gets down. Okay, and so his stride, really doesn't involve a shift to the front side. So his toe gets down. Okay, then he starts to go, and then the heel gets down. So, that can be effective. That can be okay. But I think we're, much simpler, much easier if we just do what Adrian's doing, a natural stride, to where the back leg pulls up the front and the back leg unloads before that heel comes down. Okay? And as we get through the swing, you can see Derek gets off of that back side, but the press isn't what it could be. Okay, it needs to be more forceful. Okay, and you can see Adrian there, the foot sliding before and through contact. Okay, let's take a look at the front side, and Derek's doing a pretty decent job with his front side in the sense that we've got this pretty clean line, this clean diagonal line through there. So he's trying to stay behind that front side. Okay. So it's, the front side, there's pretty good tilt there. Okay. We really want to feel the hands snap through and finish quicker. You see Adrian's hands, how quickly they have turned over. Right here, that's that position we want to try to get to right after contact. So if you look at Adrian, again, we get contact, and then those hands really turn over quickly. Okay, and Derek's kind of dragging the hands around the corner. Let's go ahead and look at the back arm now. Okay, the back arm, again, very simple. We want to see that elbow work up and work to the ball and stay very bent. We want to see that bat stacked. Okay. And so when we see Derek's elbow begin to work in here, we see a wider angle here with the bat. The bat's a little bit laid off, so that wrist, that palm starts to go a little bit up. Not too bad, really, but it's a little bit wider there. We kind of look at the way, how he kind of reaches back with his hands here in the widening, whereas Adrian's really keeping that arm bent, and he's more, lifting and winding up that elbow. Okay, so we really want that elbow to stay bent. You can see how wide Derek gets here. Okay, and then he kind of, brings the hands forward there. But there's definitely a wider elbow, and you can see it there. Right about here. It's just, it's wider. And the elbow is going to work inside, and we kind of follow the path. Okay, through. And one thing you notice here is right at contact. You see how Derek's back arm is kind of trapped back here? And this was on most swings. How he's really bent here, whereas Adrian is, beginning to finish there. Okay, we really want to see that arm. We don't want this arm in this back here in this bent position like Derek's in. Okay, we want to feel like that arm's fairly close to extension. That's a pretty good degree of bend there. And then within a few frames of hitting the ball, we want to see those hands turn over so that we've got, lead arm extended, back arm extended through there. And he's really, he's still bent here with that back arm. We're still here. There needs to be more finishing with that back arm.